10 teams remain, but only 8 can compete in the quarter-finals for a spot at Hampden. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football, and it's time to look at the Scottish League Cup quarter-final draw. We've still got a couple of games to go in the last 16. Kilmarnock and Dundee United taking on each other at Rugby Park. And then, of course, at the Tony Macaroni, we have Livingston versus Hibernian. So those 4 teams still waiting to prove, still waiting to book their spot in the quarterfinals, but the draw's been made either way. Normally they make it at the end, but I guess they just decided maybe because the Rangers game was televised, so we're going to do the draw after that. Not entirely sure, but here is the draw then for the quarterfinals. And yes, unfortunately, Hearts are not in it. Absolutely sucks, but whatever. I'll settle for winning the league, not too bothered, right? It's going to be Kilmarnock or Dundee United at home versus St Mirren. Partick Thistle at home versus Celtic. Rangers with another home tie, taking on the winner of Livingston or Hibernian. And we've got Aberdeen, who defeated Morton by 3-0, taking on Motherwell. So that is the 4 ties in the quarter-final. Obviously, I'm going to go through them all in a minute. What is the standout tie? I think it's got potential to be Rangers-Hibs. If Hibs can beat Livingston, we'll have to wait and see. I think Aberdeen-Motherwell should be a good game as well. Not entirely convinced that Aberdeen will get the job done at home. Kilmarnock or Dundee United against St Mirren should be another good game. St Mirren knocked out Hearts. I think they'll fancy their chances regardless of who they get. I think they'll feel they can go all the way and get to Hampden. And then we've got Partick Thistle versus Celtic, the only non-Premiership team left. They've been drawn against Celtic. And yeah, Mark Wilson will get a chance to play against his former club. So an away tie for Celtic, a home tie for Rangers. Celtic getting the only non-Premiership team in there. Do the Premiership teams, do Celtic Rangers, do they seem to get lucky with the draws? I think so. I think they tend to get the easier draws, but here, Celtic's got an away draw, so maybe you can argue it's not the easiest. Rangers are at home, but arguably they could get Hibs, so you can say that they maybe didn't get the toughest draws here, but it is what it is, right? Kilmarnock or Dundee United versus St Mirren. It should be a good game. Big chance for one of these teams to get into Hampden. Obviously, Kilmarnock or Dundee United, one of them will need to figure out who's going to be in the semis. I would probably predict Kilmarnock. I'm leaning towards Kilmarnock because I just think Dundee United, with their European game there midweek, and they're going to be tired, travelling. Alright, it was Tannadice, but still, they travelled the week before that. They played a lot of matches. They were in Luxembourg, and then they were in, not Austria, they were in, was it Austria? Yeah, no, it was Austria. So, they played a lot of games, and they've travelled a lot over the last couple of weeks. So, who knows? I know it's early in the season, but maybe that kind of thing could get caught up on them. And they did play 90 minutes plus the 30 for extra time and the penalty shootout. So I just think the Dundee United team just might be a bit more tired. I'm going to go with Kilmarnock to get past that one. And then if it is Kelly versus St Mirren, it's going to be a close tie, but I would give the edge to St Mirren. I think they're the better team. So I think it's going to be St Mirren in the quarterfinals. Right, Partick Thistle versus Celtic. I just don't really see Partick doing anything. If they can keep the score down, then great. But I believe that Celtic will win this game. I think that's the likely outcome. And I think that's what will happen. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Celtic to defeat Partick Thistle. Yeah, Celtic to beat Partick Thistle. Probably by a few. Depends, though. Don't know what team they're really going to put out. If they play a weakened team, then maybe Partick have got a chance. But I think by the time this game comes around, I would probably expect Celtic to be better than they are right now. I think they haven't started the season great, but they're probably only going to get better. So yeah, I think by the time this game comes around, I would expect Celtic to have way too much for Partick. Rangers versus either Livingston or Hibs. I've got a feeling Livingston could beat Hibs, and I know people aren't really thinking that, but I'm actually going to go with Livingston to beat Hibs in this Scottish League Cup quarter-final. But I don't think Livingston will beat Rangers. However, I think if Hibs beat Livingston, they could certainly beat Rangers. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see, but just the way Rangers are playing, wouldn't be confident here, even with the home tie, regardless of who they get. If they get Livingston, then it's not a gimme. And if they get Hibernian, then it's going to be a real tough task, because Hibs are good. So, yeah, but I just have a feeling that Livy are going to get a narrow win. maybe a 1-0 Davy Martindale special over Hibs. We'll have to wait and see. And then in the last game, we've got Aberdeen taking on Motherwell. I've already made my predictions. I've made it clear how I feel about Aberdeen. I think this season they're shite. They beat Morton by 3-0. But, you know, it's a lower league team. I think that a Premiership team, if they turn up and if they play well, I believe they should be able to beat a Championship team by a scoreline similar to 3-0 without really causing too much fuss. So I'm not going to sit here and say that Aberdeen are back, that Aberdeen are finally, you know, started the season well. I'll wait and see how they do in their next league game. But yeah, as for this one, it's going to be close. I could see Motherwell winning. I mean, they've been impressive. They started the season pretty well. Draw against Rangers, draw against St Mirren. And yeah, for that reason, I'm actually thinking Motherwell. I'm going to go with Motherwell to knock Aberdeen out the League Cup in the quarter-final. But yeah, that's just my prediction, guys. Let me know what you think. And yeah, we will find out tomorrow officially who the next two teams are. I'm going to go with Kilmarnock and I'm going to go with Livingston. But I could see it being the other way. It could be the other way. I'm kind of just putting it down to the European games as well, and maybe Hibs Dundee are out distracted, maybe tired. And obviously for Hibs, their European journey hasn't ended. So yeah, in terms of what team Hibs are going to play in this match, I would imagine we may see some players rested. So I just think with Hibs versus Livingston, there's a chance for a Livy upset. But that's my predictions. Let me know what you think down below. Overall, the draw is what it is. I wish Hearts were in it, but they're not. Life sucks, but here, we're still top of the league, so it's alright.